Hello, ladies
Okay, excellent.
and gentlemen. So here we are. You've been waiting for this recording and this special. A lot of people told me to please bring on a topic like this. And thank God we have Leanne and Lucy here who are going to be talking about how to come up with a great business idea. So I shall hand it over to Lucy and Leanne to do the intro and their bio before they go into this topic that you all been waiting for. Leanne, Lucy, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Great.
Lucy,
First of all, I'm so grateful you're here. Sorry, it's like I forgot that part of the intro. Really grateful that you guys are here to support this community and help and to volunteer on this talk. So that's what I want to say. And now I can hand it over to you.
Thank you very much for having us. It is an honor to be able to speak on this topic and to speak in this community for you guys. I will let Lucy kind of do the intro as far as to who we are and what.
I've kind of lost you guys there. Shall I switch off my video so that maybe we could?
Sure. I don't know where Lucy disappeared to. So I think I've lost Lucy now.
And I was thinking it's maybe my internet connection that is unstable. But how are you receiving me? Are you receiving me okay?
I can definitely hear you okay.
Brilliant. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch off my video, right? And the internet can run better. And you can still hear me like this.
Okay.
I think this is better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. I'm just wondering if we should wait for Lucy to get back. I'm not quite sure where she did here too.
No worries. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Leanne, while we are here. I'm sure.
Sure, I can tell you a little bit about myself. So I am a mom of 5 children, and I've always had a desire to do something more. Like I've always just give me I've always had that feeling deep down inside that, well, there's more for me to offer, right? When I was first starting in business, or first had the first thoughts of starting in business, I also kind of had that guilt feeling like, oh, I'm a mom. This should be fulfilling and satisfying enough. But then I also had the thoughts of, well, I was someone prior to becoming a mom. I was someone prior to becoming a wife, and that someone had dreams and passions and desires and interests and things that really excited me over and above being a mom or over and above the dream of being a mom and a wife. So for myself, that was one challenge that I struggled with when I first got into business, was finding the balance and the permission, my own personal permission to pursue all of these things, right? It's like, in my mind, it needed to be either wife, mom, or me. And it was through this whole process of building a business and looking for ideas and really growing that I realized that I'm actually all of that. I'm me, and I'm a mom, and I'm a wife, and I have so much to give and still do. There's so much value for me. And there, it led me down so many different types of roads. And when you get into business, you kind of have this mindset that is business and life is life, and everything is like compartmentalized. There's like, this is this category, this is this category, this is this category, and they don't interact with each other, right? Life doesn't. Being a mom doesn't interact with being a business owner, and doesn't interact with being a wife, and that's all just not true. If they are woven together, your business is you, your business idea is you, and when it comes to your brand and your marketing and everything like that, it's all you. you it's you. And you get very clear as you journey through everything how real that is, and it can be very uncomfortable. It was for me anyways, because there's lots of things that you go through. It's like you want to be there for your kids, and you want to supply them with the best life moving forward. You want to be there for your husband, and you want to be the best wife you can, but you also need to really take care of yourself, because you can't be anything for any of them if you're not being true and honest and giving yourself what you need to survive and move forward and thrive as well, right? And so and it's so much more than just physical. It's so much more than just like taking a shower or eating properly or getting proper exercise. It's also about your mental health. It's about what you believe about yourself. It's about what you feel about yourself. These are all very important things. If our husband or our children come to us and they're struggling with like some mental or emotional wellness, oh, I don't know if I can do this test, mom, or I don't know if I can do this this job. We're there to uplift them and to encourage them to strengthen their own belief in themselves. But we also have to do that for ourselves, because that is the foundation of a business. And that I think that is one of the hardest things to help a client understand, is that it's not separate. When you're doing your business, it's moving simultaneously to the rest of your life, and it's not it's not something separate that you just have on the shelf. And when you have a free moment, you go in and check on it. It's very much interwoven into the mix of everything. It's woven into your already pre-existing chaos of your normal familiar chaos, and that takes time for people to find balance in that. So yeah, so I'm a mom of five. I'm a wife of almost 22 years. Will be 22 years in June. And I have when I got into business, that was a pinnacle turning point in the growth of my relationship with myself. Like, really, truly getting honest with myself. And that has got to be one of the most uncomfortable relationships you will ever go through, is the one that you are with yourself.
Wow. Yes.
You cannot run away from yourself. You cannot run away. It's like, have you ever tried to get away from yourself? You like slam you walk into the other room. I need some space. damn it, you're still with me. But yeah, when you and the thing is, when you go into creating a business, um, there are so many challenges that that really test you and the truth about you and what you believe to be true about yourself and what you believe to be true about everything that that it is you really grow. You really, really grow. So one, like when Lucy, if Lucy comes on, I hope she will come back on. I think she got kicked off with the internet.
Yeah, I'm looking
So
out for her. I dropped her a message, but maybe something's going on with internet. But hey, we have you. Why don't you tell us how you and Lucy teamed up?
so Lucy and I, we met in a business group. Like we were both looking, both following that there's more to me. There's more to me than this, and there's got to be another way for me to make an income where I can have more freedom to be with my kids, more freedom to do what I want to do, more freedom to explore that side of me that got shelved when I had kids and when I got married, right? And for Lucy, it was more about she was in the corporate world where she was working 9 to 5, and she'd be so exhausted when she got home. She barely had any time with her kids. It was basically get home, make supper, and then put them to bed. And she just felt like she was losing so much time with her kids that, that, and spending so much time at work. For her, it was all about like, I need to find a way to produce an income stream that frees up my time to be more available for my children and to really produce more value to my children as well to the world. And we both kind of on separate journeys kind of flowed into this one business group, and we met through there. And because we were both moms, starting a business there's a lot of hats you wear. You wear a lot of hats. It's very similar to when you have children, right? At the beginning, there's so many things you have to do for a child. You got to change them, you got to feed them, you got to make sure that they're sleeping well, that they're sleeping on their, that they're still breathing, and like you're on the clock 24/7 doing everything for them. But as they get older, they get more independent. They can clothe themselves, they can bathe themselves. As they get older, they can make food for themselves and all this stuff, right? And so those hats get those hats that you wear, those things that you do, they get a little less because your kids are getting older and the responsibilities are going to them. And it's very similar in business as well. At the beginning, you're doing everything. You're changing their diaper, you're feeding them, you're clothing them, you're keeping them warm, like you're doing everything. And Lucy and we decided to team up so that we could help each other out with all of these hats that we had to wear. So instead of only one person having to do all of this, it was now like, having your spouse and you're like, you're home from work, excellent. Here, can you give this one a bath? And can you put this one to bed? And I will work on these ones. And so we got together in business because I view businesses like babies. I like a child. That's basically what it is. It's just a metaphorical baby that you have to nurture and grow and
you have to raise
and take care of.
Yeah.
And it's true because when you have a baby, you don't expect it to be ready to go to college the next day or in 6 months. You have the mindset that this is a long haul. I'm in it for life. or at least till like 18 or whatever, and unfortunately, people, when they get into business, they expect that within 6 months, oh, I can relax. Oh, it's gonna be fun. And that's just not how it works, right?
Yeah.
You do need to work at it. And so with Lucy and I, we met in this community, and we both were working towards a common goal. And we both realized that there were a lot of hats that we needed to wear, and we needed to uh, weave it into our already busy schedules of being moms and working and being, keeping the house clean. So we connected with each other to help each other out with the business side of things. You do this, I'll do this, we can do this together. And to really nurture and grow our baby, our business baby, to a point where it can start to do things on its own. So that's how we met. That's how Lucy and I met.
Okay.
So the thing that I wanted to talk to people about today, about how to come up with a really good business idea. There's 4 things that you want to look at. Okay. You want to look at what you love to do. You want to look at and make a list of everything that you just absolutely love to do. Do you love helping people? Well, what does that mean? What kind of helping do you do? Do you like to help people with gardening? Do you like to help people with children? Do you like to you want to get detailed? You want to really dig into it. So when you're coming up with a business idea, you're kind of like a private eye or an investigator, and you're looking for clues deep into you, like deep into the into your internal world, because most of you will have, even if you're in your 20s, will have put your desires and passions and loves and stuff like that on some shelf somewhere because of because of obligations. Doesn't matter if you're man or a male or female. We've all done that. We all put things that are really, really important to us, and desires, passions like that. We put it on a shelf because of obligations. Obligations to our parents, obligations to our siblings, obligations to, bills and work and everything like that. Oh, we'll get to it later. We'll get to it later. We'll get to it later. But what happens is it just gets put back on a farther shelf in the back of our mind, further back. And so when you're coming up with a business idea, you're basically becoming this investigator, and you're decluttering everything in that far back, and you're looking for that far back shelf because it's really far back now. So you got to go and look for it. And so you start to make a list of everything that you love to do. You think about when you were a kid, what kind of things did you love to do? You think about when you were a teenager, what kind of things did you love to do? You think about now, what kind of things do I love to do? What kind of things do I kind of miss doing? And you write those all down. And beside all of these things, you kind of go a little bit deeper. Why do I love doing that? Why do I, what made me really love doing that? And you kind of just really dig into it. Hi, Lucy.
Hello, Lucy.
Apologies. This is what happens in online business. Your whole system decides to just shut down randomly for no reason whatsoever. But we're all good. Carry on.
That is correct. That is, and I'm really happy that happened, because that is one thing that when you're building a business, you get used to, is the flux-ups, the technical gremlins that's what we like to call them, the technical gremlins. And it's not about like, oh man, it's just not working. This must be a sign from the Almighty that I'm on the wrong path. It's not. It's just it's part of the journey. It's part of the process. In fact, one of my business mentors, he put out this this little post that said, not pursuing your dream because of one stumbling block, because of one thing that happens, is like getting a flat tire and instead of fixing it, going and slashing the other 3 tires.
Wow, nice metaphor.
So, yeah, it's true. So I know that we are on a time limit here. Lucy, I was sharing about the 4 things that we teach people about when it comes to really learning and discovering and coming up with a good business idea. So I was on, really think about all the things that they love doing. That was the first one that I had. So do you want to talk about the second one?
Okay, yeah. So connecting these 4 elements is absolutely key. So once you've figured out, if you do it separately, it's far more powerful than if you try and think of it together. So if you write yourself a list of all the things you love doing, don't try and put them on to the next list. Do it completely separately, because you will start to see how it connects in its own right. So the next thing to look at is what you're good at. Because I might love to sing, but if I'm no good at singing, then it's not going to work. Okay, so whilst we know that, what we want to do is write down all the things we love doing, and when I will have singing on my list of things I love doing, and then completely separately writing down everything that you're very, very good at. And there are some exercises that we have that enable you to dig deeper than just the obvious. Okay, so whether you've had a job or whether you haven't had a job, you will know the key skills that you have that people deem as employable. And that's not necessarily the only thing that you're very good at. You're good at very natural things, the way that you present yourself in life, the way that you tackle and handle things in life, the way that you look after your children or manage your home, or it's the way that you are, it's the being that you are is part of what you're very good at. And for me, that's being very efficient, apart from when the computer dies, being very organized, being very time accurate, and they're very important skills, and they enable me to be the person I am and to provide the value that I do to our customers. So the second quadrant of this 4-step process is really digging deep into what are you really good at, and it's a very tricky thing to do. And one of the exercises that we offer, or that we suggest that people do, is to actually go out and ask 5 other people, because other people will see what you're naturally good at far better than you will potentially see yourselves.
Yeah, that's because we don't actually think that what we're good at that we're actually good at it, because we are so good at it and it comes so naturally to us, we just assume that everybody's good at it and that it's just something everybody has, but it's not.
Absolutely.
Good point.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the third thing is, okay, so what you love to do, what you're really good at, and what you can get paid to do. What are a list of things? Now, keep in mind, you are doing these 4 steps completely separately. So when you make the list of what you love to do, then you shut off. You're done with that list, right? You go to the next one. You're not going, well, I'm not really good at singing, so I'm not going to put it on this what I'm good at. Like I love singing. When you want to get each of these steps done, and you want to be really focused on the topic of each of these sections. So when you're doing what I love to do, you are focused on what do I really love doing. When you're focused on what am I good at, you're focused on what am I really good at doing. And like Lucy said, ask people. Get 5 people, ask them, what am I really good at? And then with the third one, what can I get paid to do? You want to really focus on what can I get paid to do. So you want to write everything down. I can get paid to cook. I can get paid to clean. I can get paid to babysit. I can get paid to organize books. I can get paid to organize someone's pantry or closet. Like you can mark down, there's you can pretty much get paid for anything. honestly, there is very little that you can't get paid for. So I would say that is the third thing we do. And we do have exercises to help people work through coming up with what they can get paid to do.
Leanne, I just want to let you know that we've got 10 minutes, but not to worry, because we can answer the questions on a separate link. So if you want to go on, you can go on. And then I'll probably let you know 3 minutes before the time is up on this session. We'll move on to the next link. Okay. So please go ahead where you are at, and you can continue on your usual schedule that you planned for today.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Lucy, I'll let you take over for the fourth step in this.
Yeah, okay. So step number 4 is, what is it that the world actually needs? And doing this step was probably the hardest section for most people, and definitely what we've seen within our customer base, because when you think about what the world needs, we automatically think on a very, very big level, and we think about all the things that we see in the news and all the tragedy and the unbalance of the world, and they are very humongous things that no one person can solve. That's not to say that you can't work in a very specific part of that grand. So I'm talking, homelessness, starvation, I'm talking inequality, I'm talking really big topics, and they're the ones that we automatically go to. And we can work within those topics, but it's about honing down far more specific into your existence and your being in your life, because it's the small things that we have transitioned through in our lives. Small as in not homelessness. Small isn't necessarily small to you. So it could be very significant to you, but it is more specific to you. And again, we have exercises that enable us to go on a journey through our lives to pick out those elements that enable us to understand the journey we've been on, and therefore the journey you can help other people go on. And that's the key. It's understanding what journey that you've been on, like us, trying to find our business ideas, really trying to understand who we are, what value we provide to the world, what it is that we actually enjoy doing in life. That process that we went on was a humongous process for us. And so we've created a far more succinct process for other people to go through. And it's understanding within your lifespan, within your lifetime, what massive change have you managed to transition through, and could you therefore use that as something that you could provide value to somebody else and help them go through that same process. So have a think about all the different elements in your life, all the different challenges that you've come across, however big, however small, and write them all out, because partly you'll find that some of them connect to others. So even if they're tiny little things that have happened in your life and feel significant for you, note it down because it's relevant, and it will tie together when you start looking at all of these 4 pieces together.
Exactly. And as the looking at them all together, after you have done them all separately, you start to see things that are overlapping. You can start to see things that you love to do, that you're really good at, that is also on your list that you're really good at. That's also on your list of things that you can get paid for. That seems to also be on the list of what the world needs value and what the world needs. And those are the ones that are like the ideas you want to nurture and grow for a business. And some people have very few of them. Some people have lots of them. But those are the ones that is the process that we take people through to help them come up with a really good business idea. And once you get a business idea, that's great. But that's really the beginning.
Absolutely. And it's the beginning, because I think people feel that it's very big and very overwhelming, but it is actually very, very simple to take a business idea and turn it into a business. And it takes 3 very specific steps. 1, understanding exactly what result you are going to provide your customer. 2, who needs that result? So who is it that's struggling in the first place with that challenge and needs your process in order to get the result that you're offering? And then 3 is really providing that value. It really quite is that simple. And once you know what you're offering and who they are, you'll be able to find them very, very easily online. And there are masses of instructional videos out there. Obviously, we take people through that process. But finding them online these days is very easy because everything is tracked and people know exactly who people are. And so you find them and you offer them value. And whilst that's very conceptual, I want you to understand that it isn't complicated. It is a very simple process that actually anybody can achieve. And it's then going with that process and replicating it over and over again in order to get a scalable business and something that's bringing in significant income for you and your family.
Amazing. So I'm just going to close off here with this session on the 2 minutes before we go on to the next link. So I just want to say that it's so inspirational to see two women with families working together on this idea and trying to make their dreams come true. This collaboration, a lot of people can really learn from this. Where you paired up and you saw some kind of relationship in the situation. I don't know if it's situation, but in the dream that you after, and to be able to work together, knowing each and other's family dynamics and what it takes. And it's really inspirational to me to see this, and I think we need more people like you guys. And I hope the community, if you're feeling alone, you can try something like this. Find someone you get along with. Try to identify your similarities and see if you can help each other reach your dreams. So would you like to say anything here before I close up this session and we move to the next one?
Sure. I just actually wanted to touch bases. If you are looking for a partner, you actually want to look for someone that's a bit different than you. You want to look for,
nice.
Yes, you want to look for someone that is strong in areas that you are weak and that you are strong in areas where they are weak. Lucy is extremely structured and she can stay very on point with things. And as you can tell, I'm more of a storyteller. I go all over the place. And I've learned over time how to bring things back to the point. But I'm not as, I'm more chaotic and wild and all over the place. And Lucy's much more structured. I'm more engaging with people. Lucy is much more technical. And so when you're looking for partners or accountability partners, you want to look for someone that is pretty much opposite of you.
Okay, so that is true. Opposites attract.
It does, yeah.
Well, I learned something for sure.
It can be very useful.
Okay, ladies, I'm going to we'll move on to the next link and we can answer some questions that the community members have sent. Okay, so see you just now. Can't wait.
Okay, see you in a bit.
See you in a bit. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've been waiting for the answers for the Q&A. Here is Lucy and Leanne. And they also going to be offering you a nice special. I'm not going to say what it is. So here we go. Question number 1. What are the usual challenges that you have noted with your clients when they think of wanting to start a business, to finally getting it started and then trying to get the business off the ground? Ooh, meaty question.
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest things that we find with people generally is that they just don't see the value in themselves. That is a huge challenge that exists in the world today. And I think very much in a culture of working for a living, whatever that looks like to anybody, it's very much that you've been fed the belief that that's all you're capable of doing. Right, so many people I speak to is I'm just this and I'm just that and I'm only doing this, and especially people that don't work and I'm just a mum. It's trying to go backwards and go, absolutely not. We were each individually born with very unique values, very unique skills. We've all got very unique life histories that we can pull from, that we can learn from, that we can share with others. And that's the key, is that actually there's a huge amount of value in each and every one of us. It's just digging that out and finding out what that is and figuring out how to use that to benefit the rest of the world.
And like I had mentioned when Lucy was fixing her gremlin, her technical gremlins earlier on in our call, and I was talking a little bit, that is definitely, I concur, is the hardest challenge, is helping people to really understand that the business is you, and and digging deep into who they are, because that's what it comes down to. It's all of the challenges that arise in that moment when you're building the business, that question everything that you believe about yourself, believe about your capabilities, believe about what you've been told about your surroundings and your situations and everything. And moving through that is definitely, or helping clients move through that is definitely one of the most challenging.
Amazing. I hope that answers your question there, question number 1. And question number 2 now. Is there a client of yours that you really enjoyed working with and helping? What's your best success story to date? Oh, I like this question also.
I don't know if we have a favorite. There's so many that we have worked with, and there's so many that are unique in their own way. Things that we like about them and their success stories are different from each other because their journeys are all so different. The paths and the things that they needed to work through, the challenges that they worked throughout coming up with a business idea, and then taking it off, and then moving it forward with a solid action plan and strategy. I can't really pick just one that is my favorite, but I will say that there is a few that stand out, and one in particular, for as far as success stories go, is Maddie Robbins. Am I saying her last name right? Okay. When she came to us, she was so scared to even just get on camera, like to come and join us on the lives and to even ask a question. She like, her transformation was astronomical because she had no idea what she really wanted to do, even though she kept talking about this one thing over and over and over again. When we were, in private with her, she would always talk about this one thing about, helping people in the corporate world, and, helping them build confidence and everything like that. But she was still focused on different business models that she thought that she wanted to do. And the whole process of working with her to getting her to the point where she was like that aha moment when she's like, I want to be a coach. I want to help corporate women over 40, over 50 to gain confidence and doing what they want. And we're like, yeah. Like, she had literally been talking about that the whole time. But like we had mentioned from the last question, helping her to see that she had the value and the capability of doing that was one of the most challenging parts of her journey. Lucy, did you want to expand on that at all?
No, I think you've covered it absolutely. It was a pleasure to watch her go through that process.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's like amazing to watch her like post things now on her social media about the clients that she's working with, the events that she's talking at, and the progress that she's making in her business journey. And she's continually growing, and it's just absolutely wonderful to have been a part of that journey with her.
So I have a question on the back of that. I know housewives, right? I've met a few of them, and some of them are finding their way to finding their ambition, especially, when your kids are going now to high school and college, and then when they're going to work, what are you going to do? Now you come back to me again, like you said, you're your own company, right? And and you spend the most time with yourself. It's how long did your client, the specific one that you're talking about, take to finally have that aha moment that this is what I want to do? How long did it take for, because she's been talking about it, but obviously the answer has to come from the customer, right? You help them get the answer, and it can take months.
For her specifically, it was about a year, I would say, a year or so. But that doesn't, like, it's so hard to put a time frame on it because everybody's journey is so unique. It really comes down to, because it's internal work. That's really one of the most challenging parts of business is the internal work, not the technology. Yes, technology is frustrating as all get up. Don't get me wrong, but you can easily figure out the technical stuff within like a half an hour, if at even if like less than that. You just have to take the time to go and watch a few videos and figure it out. But the internal work that individuals go through, it's uncomfortable, and it's so easy to be like, oh, I have to go do dishes. It's like, do you really need to go do dishes right now, or do we need to sit down and really think about what it is that is stopping you from moving forward? Oh, but I gotta go and sweep the floors now. It's like we and it's not just women. Like every single client that we have worked with, males and females, do the same thing. It's human, and every single one of us go through it. So it's really difficult to put a time frame on that aha moment for people. It's part of the journey, and some people have an aha moment like that, and other people have aha moments that take longer. All I can say is that with that, you are exactly where you are meant to be and where you're supposed to be in that journey.
Amazing. The reason why I asked that question was because I know when you have a family, you're nurturing, and like you say, doing the dishes is half an hour. You can calculate such a thing. But when your children are going through some problem at school, or when your husband had a bad day at work, or when you trying to figure out something inside you, that it's things are so complex, we humans, right? And when you take a role on as a parent, or looking after someone, or even looking after your dog, whatever it is, it and he gets sick and you can see he's not happy, um, and you're also dealing with the things that you have, like your confidence issues, the things that knock you down in life, that you think now you can't start this business until you receive that aha moment. So I just want to put it out here that it's natural to go through this. We all go through it. Even single people go through it.
Absolutely. The key is to have someone to talk it through with. So when we were talking earlier about partnerships, and when we were putting this business together, actually the technical side is difficult if somebody doesn't tell you how to do it, but having step-by-step processes makes it easier. It's all the steps are very clear, and all you do is follow them. But what you need in business is the other side of it. It's the mindset side of it. It's the accountability. It's trying to help you dig into why you're not moving forward, and what is it that's stopping you, and why you haven't got that aha moment. And it's making you take those steps to stop and dig deep.
And that's great.
I want to just like say, the aha moment, the only way a person will ever have that aha moment is through action. Like, you need to continue to move forward through the scary stuff, through the frustrating stuff, through the uncomfortable stuff. The aha moment does not come if you stand still, if you do not move forward.
And that's why we need people like you guys.
Exactly. And that's why we're here. That's exactly it. Because confidence, so many people are like, well, I'm not confident. When I'm confident, I will do it. It's like, the only way to get confident is to do it. Like, and even now, Lucy and I, we still move through. Every time you get to a different level in your business, you're at now an unfamiliar part, scary thing, something new. And even Lucy and I, in the level of our business, we are still uncomfortable. We're still scared of certain stuff, and we still move forward because we know that in order to grow to the next level, we need to keep moving. In order to be confident in this next level, we need to keep moving. You know, in order to have that aha moment, we need to keep moving. We need to take the action steps. And they have to, and not just like, oh, well, I did do something. I washed the dishes today. No. Like that is action, yes. But we're talking about the action that is actually moving you forward, not treadmill action. Anyone can just be on a treadmill. And the action that's going to build the confidence and move you towards that aha is the action that's scary, is the action that is uncomfortable, is the action that freaks you out, is the action that makes you want to throw your laptop through the window. That type of action.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Right. I shall move on to question 3 because otherwise I'll keep asking more of my own questions. Okay, question 3. For those of us in the community who don't have any children, what are the challenges mums or any parent faces when starting a business and having their own business? This is going to be very awakening.
So is this question about like for single people, like people that don't have kids yet and the challenges that they're going to experience, or is it from the perspective of you know, someone that wants to have kids but they haven't moved into having kids yet, but they want to have a business and they want to, like, there's so many levels to this question. I think for myself, the biggest thing that I would say is that regardless of whether you have kids or you don't have kids, the journey is going to be what you are experiencing internally, that you are going to be encountering. You are going to have challenges. You are going to be frustrated. You are going to get scared. You are going to be uncomfortable. And it will be, it doesn't matter what your situations are, because the journey is more of an internal journey. The things that are outside of you, they're just like different type of jewelry, really. It's like someone's wearing glasses, someone's not wearing glasses, but you're still going to experience the challenge. Does that make a little sense?
Yeah, absolutely. It does make a lot of sense. Everybody has to go through that same process. I think the challenge with having children is time-based, because obviously you have far more to do on an everyday basis, looking after the children and managing that whole nother person's life as well as your own. But it's also an excuse. It is also a very, very good excuse to stop and to procrastinate and to give yourself lots of reasons why you can't possibly do that today. So there are lots of challenges that come with every lifestyle, as Dan says, and there are lots of excuses you can come up with, I think, as a parent, and having a busy family life as well as trying to build a business is twofold. It's finding the time and carving that time out for yourself and making sure that you do it, and not allowing that busy family lifestyle to give yourself enough excuses. They're not reasons, they're excuses to just not move forward and not step into that next level of fear.
Yeah, so basically it doesn't matter what a person is juggling in life. It's about picking up it's about picking up the business ball and including it in your juggling act. It doesn't matter if you have kids or no kids, we're all juggling something. And it's about making time and making the choice to pick up that ball, that business ball, and juggle it in.
Oh, that is that was a lot to in a very few words. That was quite powerful. powerfully said. Because we all are juggling something. That is the truth. We all are. Whether you're single, whether you have kids, whether you don't have kids and you just married or with a partner, whatever that is, everyone is juggling something. That's the reality. Yeah. Really, really inspiring. Like especially when you talk about breaking that fear, that breaking through that excuse, breaking through the next scary thing, because we all face that. So very, very powerful words there. But hey, me, I can go on forever, so I'm not going to do that. I know you guys have, you ladies, not guys, you ladies have something special to offer here that I was very surprised. I was like, what? Are you going to be sharing that with my community? So let you go ahead.
Okay, so we have a mini course that we have created. It is completely free for anybody to sign up to. So we're going to send you the link so that anybody can come along and sign up to that mini course. The course itself takes you through that process that we've just been through. So we've been through it very conceptually. The course is going to give you the exercises. It's going to take you far deeper into each one of those segments that we talked about, and it's going to hopefully enable you to come out with a business idea. And it also has a bonus video at the end that actually teaches you how to take that idea and expand it into a business concept, because that's two separate things. That mini course, like I said, is completely free, and we'll send you the link so that you can sign up to that and go through that at your own pace. It's a recorded system, so you can go through it at your own pace. And then if you do have questions, we have an online training group that people can come to. We do lives every single week, so they can always be on those lives and ask the questions that they need to ask, and post those questions in that training group, because we are willing to be there to help, to support, and to answer those questions. That is absolutely what we do this for. So we wanted to offer that to your community so that they can hopefully take that step forward in their business and get over the biggest question as to, what on earth am I going to do for my business?
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put the links with this recording so that you can access this amazing free gift from Lucy and Leanne. But now I will let Lucy and Leanne say bye before I close off as well. So ladies, I hand it over to you.
Yes, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here. We love spreading the word. We love trying to get out there to as many people as possible and help them move forward in their life, because business is life and life is business. And if we choose to step into that, then that is what it will become. And it's a big change, a big challenge, but it is completely worth it. And we hope and wish you all the best for your business ventures going forward.
Absolutely. And I concur. Thank you very much for having us here. And I hope you guys have gotten a ton of value out of what we have talked about. And like Lucy said, all of the 4 steps that we just talked to you about, they were very basic. The free course that we are offering you will take you deeper into the actual exercises to help you move through that. And you guys can come on to our free Facebook training group and ask any questions to expand on that course as well. So look forward to, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I look forward to getting to hopefully meet some of you. So thank you for having us.
Thank you so much, Leanne and Lucy. Really, it's been an honor having you here as well. So, let's keep in touch and see where we go. And community, take advantage of this lovely ladies' offers and get in touch with them and get help. Okay, make your dreams come true. Okay, so that's from us from today. See you on the next. Bye.